Good morning, it's Karen, and this is a woefully short video about my 5-star reads of 2025. I think last year I had something like 19 or 20 5-star reads by the end of November, and I do not have the same amount this year. I have 7. I have read about the same and I only have 7, and that makes me so sad. So you'll see in my coming videos, I am hoping for more 5 stars next year. I'm gonna go kind of chronologically here, so let's just dive right in. This is Trials of Empire. This is by Richard Swan. This is the 3rd book in the Empire of the Wolf trilogy. This is a 5-star trilogy, the whole trilogy. Every single book just knocks it out of the park. This last one is no less significant, a superstar. It is some of the best fantasy writing I have read in a long time. I am so excited that he is now publishing so many more books that I have sort of backlogged. There's one called Grave Empire. Very excited about that. Following a justice to the king. He is like the dispenser of law and making sure that rules are being followed. Our narrator is the clerk to this justice, and she is a fantastic narrator for this entire series. The ending is the most satisfying ending. I thought it wasn't going to work, and it actually works. It is the most perfect ending for this series. This is a darker, almost horror-like series. This has eldritch horror. It feels a little bit Lovecraftian. There are monsters and ghouls and things that come from the other side. It is just jam-packed full, and at the heart of it we have some fantastic characters that we just fall in love with, and a dog too. The next book that I read that was a 5-star was Death of the Author. I adore this author. Absolutely adored the Binti series. That one was science fiction. This one is near future science fiction. So we've got our main character, and she is disabled. She uses a wheelchair, and she gets fired from her job because she is too outspoken and calls BS on some of her students for terrible writing. She kind of falls into a bit of a depression, and what gets her out of that is writing her own novel, which is just a cathartic experience for her. She ends up writing a sort of Nigerian robot story that ends up being published, blows up, and gives her extreme fame. She suddenly has this spotlight on her, and it's about her kind of dealing with that spotlight and what it does to her family. Now, her family is super complex. Nnedi Okorafor does a fantastic job just balancing all the different personalities. I felt like I was welcomed into this family, and I got to kind of experience a different culture that I wouldn't normally. I did really enjoy the interspersing of excerpts from her novel. The main character, I would argue, is not a likable character, but a so wholly human character, and I fell in love with her for that. It is a standalone, so if you're looking for something just a little bit different, I would highly recommend this one. This is an insert one because I seemed to have forgotten that I read this. I don't know why. It was fantastic. It's one of my top reads of the year, and that is The Garden Against Time. This was another one of those garden books that I looked up, and I picked it because, hello, the cover is stunning. But then also the premise, the idea of it. It's a woman who bought an 18th century garden. 17th century? Can't remember. As she seeks to restore this garden to its former glory, she also delves into the history of gardens at this time. She has an overall discussion about who gets to enjoy gardens. Usually, it's the upper class, people who have money. They create these spaces. And then it's a discussion about parks and how parks kind of came to be and be enjoyed by people. There's a lot of literary parallels that she drew. She talked a lot about Paradise Lost, and I loved that insert. I did not realize how literary this book was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a story about a woman finding herself and being in her garden, and it was far from that. This was an absolute delight. I I adored this book. This is another series book, but this one kept appearing on every single TBR. It was the book that would not let go, and that is The Hod King. This is the third book in the Senlin Ascends quartet. There are 4 books. Thankfully, I have one more book to go, The Fall of Babel, and I'm super stoked for this. This is a fantastic series. I was not expecting to love this one as much as I did the others. Now, he is, I would argue, not as accessible as a writer to many people because of the high amount of verbiage used. He uses words that are a little more obscure, so it kind of throws you off. He's got great characters. I absolutely loved the absurdity of the world that he just explored in this one. So the Tower of Babel is this tower where every single level kind of gets more progressively odd and absurd, and our main characters are stuck on this floor that thrives on drama and bad news of other people. This is a fantastic kind of mirror to our own lives about how we only pay attention to the bad stuff, and we want to know more about the bad stuff, but we don't really want to know about the people. He does a fantastic job with that. I love his insights into the human condition, and that is what this book is. Now, don't get me wrong, there is lots of action. There are airships and shootout battles and pistols and so many things going on, and there's sort of rumblings of an underground rebellion. Like, there's so much going on in this story. There are fake outs, there are disappearances, people disappear, they come up again. So many characters to wrap your head around, and I love how Bancroft just sort of threads them and weaves them all together. It is a fantastic, weird series. Sort of curiosity of Alice in Wonderland. I would highly recommend this one. It does that in absurdum. It is fantastic. Once Was Willem was a surprise for me. I picked this one up. My husband bought it for me for our anniversary. I was not actually expecting to love it as much as I did. It was a 4-star read until it hit something in the middle that did something that I absolutely adore. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but man, okay. So Once Was Willem is about a boy named Willem who dies, and his parents want him so badly to come back that they hire a wizard to resurrect him. But the problem is the Willem that comes back is not the same one that died. And the parents are horrified to see what he has become, and they reject him. And so this is a story, I would argue, is like a Frankenstein, but better, because he is searching the world for his own family. He does find a found family, which is just amazing. And we also follow the story of the wizard who becomes, I guess, a sorcerer, evil. He's very nefarious. He makes choices that are not humane, let's just say. He sacrifices people in horrific ways, and yeah, not my favorite, but fascinating to read from. One of the top villains for this year, for sure. It is a fantastic blend of folklore, magic, horror, and a little bit of heaven and hell. The next one was another unexpected 5-star read, and that is Garden Spells. This year, I really wanted to read a lot of nature-y type themed books, and this one popped up. I'd actually had it on my list for years and years and years. It fell off my list and then came back on when I was searching the word garden. I adored this one. This is a romance, and this is a lovely, lovely one. There is this garden in this home, and there's something sort of magical about the things that grow there. They make you feel just a little bit extra something. So like an apple pie made with the apples from the apple tree, just give you a little bit of extra pep in your step, you know? So this main character, she's kind of like hidden herself away from the world, and she makes a sort of name for herself selling these potions, if you will, that help people in the community, but she doesn't really want to be a part of the community until a man comes next door and he's staying in the house. They end up, you know how it is. Like, it's a romance. You know what's gonna happen in the end, but the way that they get there was magnificent. Sister of the woman, she comes home after being estranged for years and years. She comes with her daughter. She doesn't really explain why she's come back, and slowly we kind of unravel her backstory, and it is tragic. And in the end, there's lots of warm, cozy feels and just a feeling of loving home life. I adored this one. I needed it. This was fabulous. And the last two I'm going to rope together, and that is by Benjamin Stevenson, his first two books here. Everyone in my family has killed someone, and everyone on this train has killed someone. The narration for this one, I don't know, like, I did listen to both of these on audiobook, and I think the narrator makes it just perfect for the tone of this book. Now, this is a dry humor type of a book. So the first book, his family is on a reunion. They go to this chalet ski resort. They're meeting for some reason. One of his brothers has just gotten out of jail. He feels guilty because he feels like he was the one who put his brother in jail. And there are lots of shenanigans that happen. There is a murder. There is past murders that get revealed. I absolutely adored how everything was revealed. That is why I loved this book so much, and the second one too, is that Benjamin Stevenson knows how to unravel his story. He knows when to throw in certain past interjections and makes our main character have these epiphanies and realizations at the exact moment that he needs to. It is just a masterclass in a mystery novel. And that is why I adored this. It felt very different from anything that I had read before. It is a murder mystery when you get down to its core, but the way in which it was delivered was absolutely fantastic. I think there is another book coming out soon. I know there is a novella maybe about Christmassy type thing. I would like to check that one out. It is such a fun series, and if anybody is looking for a fantastic wintry read, the first book set in a ski chalet. And that's it. Those are all my 5-star reads. A little sad. It is mid-November when I am filming this, because I usually film ahead for December. So I am hoping to have at least like 30 more 5 stars. That would be really lovely. Until next time, my name is Karen. I'm the Book Librenaut. I explore all types of books. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.